Hello and welcome to another episode of Last Call for Adventure. So excited to be here as we ended on a little bit of a cliffhanger last time. Let's go around and meet our wonderful players as well as their amazing characters that they're playing for our last episode. Oh gosh, my heart sunk when I said it. Of this crew. We'll start with Burke. Burke, who are you? Who do you play?
I play Gokked the Undead. Little conniving, little undead. He's got a condition. There's something wrong with him, and he has love. He has a love for gold and all things money wise, and he's in an interesting predicament right now in this cave. So I'm excited to see how things play out.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Blibbles.
You got yourself in a pickle there, Mr. Gokked. Greed has caught up to you, Mr. Gokked. About to be put that to the test, that undeadness. I play Blibble, a goblin warlock, and also in a bit of a pickle, encountering an entity of the past that he was formerly bonded with. And yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I have a few ideas of what may play out, but yeah, I play Blibble. And it's the last episode of this crew, and maybe all of us forever. Who knows? We're gonna die. We're gonna die, Dan. What do you play?
Oh, I'm Dan. I'm playing Nameless, a orc fighter, and I'm currently caught between deciding if I want to save someone who wronged me or let them face the kobolds that are his fault. So I'm kind of living that middle decision. I don't know which way he's going to go yet. It's going to be an exciting episode, though. Everything's going to come to a conclusion.
Everyone's a little well, I guess I shouldn't say everyone's a little weak. It's really just Gokked that's taken a little bit of a beating. Blue, you're doing pretty good, aren't you, on health and stuff?
My sheet says otherwise.
Where were you at when we ended?
Apparently, if the numbers are to be, no, I think we're actually all pretty fucked up, other than Nameless, if I remember correctly. We're going into this kind of, because we went through fighting the kobolds. Were they kobolds or were they gob? No, they weren't kobolds. Kobolds.
They were kobolds. Yeah.
Yeah, we were fighting them, and then we had more of them kind of being called in, and then we stopped that from the sorcerer that had the horn calling them in. And we're kind of beat up, and now we're trapped. And that's why I'm like, I don't really.
I think Gokked's like,
I got a Hail Mary ace in my sleeve. Ace in my hole? Ace in the hole. I said ace in my sleeve. I don't know. Listen, I just drove an hour and a half from in the middle of nowhere, Texas, to be here right in time. I'm settling in.
You got an ace in your hole.
Ace in your hole. It's an expression. I got eighth in my hole. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Listen, you don't gotta tell me. I get it. I do know what it's like. No, I'm not gonna finish that sentence. But yes, where we last left off, two of our players actually succumbed to the temptation of gold and were afflicted with a curse, a rather curious curse that they were able to, well, only one of them was able to cure themselves of by returning the cursed coins from whence they came. Otherwise, surely they would be destined to choke and drown on their own greed, a very slow and painful death for those that cannot find a way out. But luckily for our adventurers, one of our party members was able to find a way out. The other party member found themselves struggling in that same sort of capacity to get out since they were burdened by this gold dripping from their pockets, weighing them down, coughing up coins, and were attacked by kobolds that managed to separate the party somewhat. Where we left off, a great wall of flame erupted from the mouth of this cavern, separating Bertha and Blibble from Gokked and Nameless. As the caverns echoed with more skittering kobolds coming to reinforce that sort of advance, I guess, platoon you had fought. Nameless, you look back and forth between Gokked and the exit. What do you do?
Nameless is sitting there pondering, and he can't decide if he wants to fend off these remaining kobolds or go the other way. So he's going to leave it to chance and pull out a pair of dice and roll them and let fate decide what he'll do.
Ooh.
Mhm.
He'll roll a 20-sided dice, and if it's higher than 10, he will save
Mhm.
Gokked, but if it's lower than that, he's just going to leave him to his
So
fate.
10 or higher or higher than 10?
10 or higher.
Well, I only get 1 through 9.
That's right.
And he rolled a 19, so he decides to do the noble thing, and he's going to rescue Gokked, even though he may not deserve
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
The say the fates are with me.
Yeah. We're out of initiative order. We spent a lot of time in initiative order last episode, so we're not going to start in initiative order on this one. I'm sure there will be thoughts about that. Also, I was thinking about the death save thing, and I do think it happens at the beginning of your turn, and so many people were upset about that. Fam, it's a live show, and sometimes, and I had never, I've encountered a natural 20 on a death save maybe like once in my several years of playing D&D. It's never something I've thought so hard about, is whether it happens at the beginning or end of a turn. But
Yeah.
yeah,
People forget that it's a live show, and also like you have the ability to think about it, look up every different thing. Like on the live show, we got to go. We got to keep shit moving. And even if we're
not
wrong,
to be shady, but for a lot of
be
people,
wrong.
this is the only game they play. And I'm like, this week I'm running Morkborg and Vampire the Masquerade. Like I have to have like 30 systems in my head at just about any time. And I'm also running Cyberpunk Red next week. So if you think I'm not gonna flub a rule here and there, and I play Warhammer regularly, which granted is a completely different game, but then sometimes I bring that over. Berkey would have loved it. I actually assembled my Elicidian Star Striders yesterday when hanging out at Penny Arcade. Yeah, so I'm excited to field them against Jerry, who I am sure will stomp me into the ground when we fight each other. But you know, we'll see if I can finish getting them painted. Anyways,
the Lithium
can't
Dark
get
Strider,
sidetracked by
for
Warhammer.
sure. Awesome.
Do you want to know about them, Max?
I do, but there's a
They're
JP
really
in my
cool.
head
So
going
they're
like,
what's called a
"Motherfucker."
rogue crew, which is a sort of roving band of traders aboard a trade vessel. But sometimes they get recruited into the Inquisition, which is this branch of the I guess of the Imperium that
I know what the Inquisition is.
Oh, okay.
We play. I educated him. He knows.
Because I know
A
you play Total
younger
War,
Max
but that's
might not have
fantasy,
known.
so
Right.
fair. So so they sometimes get recruited into the Inquisition to carry out tasks, and there's a kill team in 40K that includes this like rogue crew as well as like Assassinorum, which are special assassins that are recruited into the Inquisition as well.
Naturally.
Yeah. A lot of times they work for the branch called, I think, like the Ordo Hereticus. Or wait, no, that's the Adeptus Sororitas. I think they work with the Ordo Malleus more. But anyways, I'm sure I'll be corrected on that too if I messed it up.
There's a lot of us at the end of words and rum. A lot of like, you know what I mean? Just for all the terminology. The Adeptus Sororitas.
Yes,
Very
there is.
Roman
Yeah.
style. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
very,
very
Roman.
Roman,
centric.
you know.
Yeah. The branches of the Inquisition are Xenos, Malleus, Hereticus, and they all specialize in different kinds of heresy that they put down. Like, you might have one that specializes in aliens and one that specializes in taking down like rogue psychers, and they all have like different specialties. But anyways.
We can. All right, now we're gonna make a podcast now. So.
Yeah. Just roll 2 melee hits. These are minions, so as long as you hit, they die. If not, they'll deal a small amount of damage to you. So that's 1 kill. And that's the second. Yes. Perfect.
Boom, boom.
Now, the way this is going to work is it's now a matter of getting in and out of the cavern before more of the larger entities arrive. So you dispatch of these 2 minions easily. 2 careless flicks of your greatsword, and these kobolds cease to exist on this plane, as far as you know, and go to rejoin their makers. As the caverns echo with their cries of death, you hear, like I said, small claws skittering on the stones, the smooth black stone around you, and you see Gokked struggling to walk towards this massive hoard of gold. At this point, occasionally coughing up much larger pieces of gold instead of just coins. There's sometimes a gold chain in there, sometimes a signet ring, and you think even a small chalice at this point has start to come up as the curse really begins to take hold.
Nameless will run to Gokked and say to him, "You do not deserve my help, but I will help you, unlike you would not help me. I'm going to save your life this day, so you may one day save someone else's. You will pay this forward."
Yeah,
And he
Wait,
helps him grab the bag and start tugging it towards the pile.
I did say I wouldn't help you. I mean, I was just trying to help you get paid. After all, I was just, I was the only one that was like, "Hey, you want some money?" That was me. That was me. Okay. And
RP check. Could you talk with stuff's coming out of your throat? So I just want to make sure that it's on the level.
Did you just RP check someone?
Just RP check. Yeah.
You're like a cat with hairballs right now.
It's Burke, of course. I got to do it to Burke. Most of the people probably leave it be.
Freaking gold. I'm helping. Taking Gokked's help. Gosh dang it. Taking Nameless's help. You RP check me now. I'm all messed up. To pull. I think it's his bag, right? It's his bag full of treasure. It's Gokked's treasure bag.
Yes.
And of course he's aware of what happened with the pants. He had to throw it back in the pile. Like we're just trying to throw it into the pile with the rest of the stuff. Much to the sadness in his eyes.
Since you're helping, we will add half your proficiency bonus rounded up, but Gokked, go ahead and make the athletics check.
Athletics. And we all know that Gokked has amazing athletics with his hanging flesh and such.
Yes.
By the way, Nameless, that smell is still there from last night.
Yeah, the burn.
Because, he has no oils, just seared, roasting, dead flesh. That's
died multiple times. It's real bad.
Yeah. So good. And since Nameless has a +6, I think, to athletics, that brings you to a 12, which is enough. You swing it back, swing it forward, swing it back again, let it go. And as the bag goes flying and lands with a crash on top of the dragon horde, you feel yourself grow lighter as gold ceases to spill from your pockets and from your armpits and from everywhere. And this sort of hand of greed is released from your shoulder. In a lot of ways, you feel lighter. but in other ways, you feel a longing for the glitter in front of you. Probably the
Okay.
opposite of Nameless, who never wants to see a coin again.
Yeah. Gokked's not happy right now. Well, he'll look over at Nameless and then say, "Oh,
Now what?
We need to leave. We don't have time. I hear more coming.
Okay.
Or perhaps you would like me to bury you here next to your gold.
No, it's fine. Let's go.
You make your way back to the entrance and see this wall of fire formed above or in front of you, kind of closing it off from you. On the other side, Blibble, Bertha interposes herself between you and the smoky, sort of half corporeal form of your former patron, the Afridi. And you suddenly realize she's gently like pushing you with her back arm while levying her great axe now, putting away her hand axes, levying her great axe against this entity. And as she pushes you with her back arm, she just looks at you and says meaningfully, I already had a shot at life. Go, run.
Just so I have the scenario of it, like we're stuck here, aren't we? There's no place to run, or is there a place to run?
There is a place to run. Let's actually switch over to the second map.
I thought we were like
Since I found
trapped in between walls of flame and like area being blocked. I'm just trying to properly visualize.
You're
it so I
outside.
know the
Yeah, you're
scenario.
actually outside the entrance. I need to drag the players over here. This is actually pretty close. The inside of the cave looks a little different, but don't worry about that. So, the wall of flame. Let's see if I can create a little visual effect. Sorry, my roll 20 is a little slow today. We're not sponsored, so I can say that. I have to like double check with myself. Like, I can't seem to drag this token over. Let me refresh real quick.
It's always the best scenario when you're sponsored by something. Even if it's something that works well, but in that moment, whatever game or whatever program you're using, of course,
Yeah.
is going to act up, and you gotta be like,
Sometimes it
It takes a
happens.
second to load these amazing effects.
Yeah, that's crazy. This never happens. It's always so good.
Right? Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. So
In the meantime, I will let you guys know a quick draft fact. They have 4-chambered stomach, just like a cow, and they will eat something, chew it a little bit, but not a whole lot, because they have a front kind of plate that's made of hard cartilage on the top, they have teeth on the bottom. They'll chew it, it'll go down into a part of it, process it, digest a little bit, and it'll come back up for more chewing. How crazy is that? Yeah.
that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. it's
Sometimes I
nuts.
wish I could
have so
have
many
my food
draft
come
facts.
back up so I could chew it more. That'd be nice.
Gotta soften it up
Eat a
first.
nice, eat a nice steak and have it go down, then come back up and try
Come
it
back
again.
up, reintroduce that flavor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the burp that you get, you know what I mean? As humans,
Oh,
you
yeah.
get a little bit of that flavor back, but they get to chew it again. So it's like,
Yeah, but burps don't taste good.
that depends on what you're eating.
Speak for yourself,
I was
madam.
gonna say. Excuse me. You've never had an experience where you burp and you're like, that was good earlier. Yeah, this got a little flash of the flavor. Seriously?
It never tastes the way it did the first time around.
No,
I didn't get
well,
this
no,
big
of
by
course
not
You get
enjoying
like
my
a little,
burps.
It's like a little wisp, a little echo of the flavor that was.
Mm-hmm. It's like a reminder. Remember how good that was?
You were the odd one out here in this scenario. Everyone else here is like, yep.
That's
I get
right. Dan, do you concur, Dan?
Yeah, it does not taste the same when it comes up.
Oh, we're on our own in a
Thank
sea
you.
here.
It's not the
Thank
same,
you.
but depending on what you eat, you know,
I've never
sometimes
been
it's
like,
unpleasant.
that's good.
Yeah, but if you eat something, let's say you tried something that was like new and you weren't fond of the flavor. If you burped in that scenario, it'd be like, ugh, I don't really want to experience that again.
No,
was
but it
something
never
tasty.
tastes the same as the first time. Like it's always like somehow like not like it's like nastier.
That's
I
only
don't know how
because
to
bile
describe it.
mixes with it. It's not that big a deal, though. You know.
I don't know. It sounds
I just
like
love how we're divided on this.
maybe
Like
some
the
of us are
top
just a
half
little
versus
more.
the bottom half. Like we're divided down the middle.
All right, chat. What are your take on this?
Oh my gosh.
What are you in chat? Who's right, huh? Who's right? And leave a comment down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Mhm.
Here we go. Yeah, go ahead and place yourselves actually. Wibble, I think you'd be like roughly here.
Yeah.
Bertha's standing in front of you. This is that sort of narrow amphitheater I was talking about last episode where it's not exactly a canyon. There are spaces in between these rocks. Just imagine that. But you have these like sort of you're in what used to be a riverbed, and now there's these some natural rock formations and then others like funeral cairns that have been erected around you, kind of making it feel like you're in a bit of a gully. These are scalable walls to either side of you. It's just difficult terrain, so you move at half movement speed. Since it is an upward climb and it is like almost gravelly. And you would know that especially because you watched Bertha scale one of them to get a better vantage. And it took some time because every step she would take, you know, her feet would kind of move back another foot because it was like this thin gravel that just kind of crumbled as you tried to climb it.
Mhm.
And then inside the cavern on the other side of that wall of fire. In fact, at this point, you can probably just begin to see them. We have Gokked, who I can't seem to drag the token.
Okay, so
There we
this is the
go.
interior. This is the cave where we just escaped from.
Yes, that's where you were. And oh,
Gotcha.
why do those tokens look so much larger than the other two? Or no, maybe they're the same size. And I'm just tired. I think that might be it. So, this wall of fire has come up behind the smoky shape of the Afridi, blocking off the rest of your party, but not necessarily blocking you off. Bertha stands between this entity as it's like sort of reaching out towards you with smoky claws. And like I said, brandishes her greatsword while telling you to run.
Gokked looks at her and goes like, I can't ask that of you. This is my responsibility. They want me. Just because you already lived, that doesn't matter. And besides, I brought you back. I couldn't live with that. And them, well, nameless anyways. Gokked, you know, he's got his own sins about him in this scenario, but shit. He kind of looks at Scoria, you know, assuming that they haven't just immediately attacked, you know, flair for the dramatic as
Yeah,
goes.
no, he's definitely the type to draw things out, so he hasn't immediately attacked.
Yeah.
As you say
Scoria.
this, Scoria says to you, hearing your words, heeding them, he says, oh, brave are we.
Listen, Scoria, why are you so obsessed with me? Number one. Number two, I've been brave before.
You brave? When? You're
Blibble, like, looks
small,
at
pathetic worm of a thing.
Blibble looks at his 2-star, badges and stuff, and like, well, you don't just get this for nothing. And even being here, if I was a complete coward, I would have been gone already.
Yes.
Plus, there was that thing from that other time, back when you was still all up in my head. You miss me? Is that why you're here?
You owe me. A pact was struck. And just because you didn't finish school doesn't mean you don't finish the things you agree to. You were given 2 separate missions. You failed both.
Not without trying. And you know what? A pact was struck, but it wasn't fair, and you know it. That's how your deals go, isn't it? I just happen to have my eyes opened, and an opportunity to cleanse myself of you presented itself.
The deal was simple, Blibble. I help you gain power without you doing any of the work. And in return, you get me what I need to return to this plane of existence instead of this smoky, half-realized 4. But if you dropped out of school, I guess it was my folly to think you could ever commit to anything.
Commitment has
Failing
nothing
to
to
meet
do
your
with it.
commitments is sort of your brand.
Commitment has nothing to do with it. It's just when something isn't worthwhile and you realize it, or there's ulterior motives and things at play that you didn't understand before, but you do now. It's valuing your own time, your own life, and valuing where you want that life to go. And speaking of valuing life, something you know nothing about, you would have had me killed. The things you had me doing, you don't care about me. You don't care about anybody you bond with. You entice them with power. And then, surely once they get rid of their youth, you wouldn't have cared if I died. Is that what you did to Gokked? That why he was being weird?
That's how the world works, Blibble. Care about people? You're pathetic. You're such a disappointing disciple. I'm rather happy now that I reflect upon it that my gifts have been cleansed from you. You are not fit to wield them.
Nor do I want them. And at that, Blibble in his head goes, I don't know if you're there, but I'm pretty sure I'm fucked without your help. I'm not strong right now. Let's be honest, I'm pretty close to death. But I don't want this person to suffer because of me. And he like looks at Bertha for a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I might need
you're
your help here.
entreating your deity. Make a arcana or religion check. You may do so with advantage since you're drawing on a very wholesome place of trying to protect Bertha, who's like ready to fight this thing here.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. I can't see it. Is it good? Yay! 17.
Yeah,
Terrible.
pretty good, yeah. As you say this, you feel a warm, like, presence in your chest again. That same presence of this antlered entity who had saved you before. And you feel a cool wind come rushing through this sort of this gully that you're in. You feel it wash over you, kind of washing away the oppressive heat coming off of this entity. As the wind picks up, and it almost feels like it's going to blow you over. Like, you start to feel like you're having a hard time staying on your feet. It also blows out the wall of fire and even sends Scoria several feet back. And as it does, you feel on the wind scintillating light, almost as though your extremities have gone numb. And you recover. I'm going to roll for it.
All of your. Oh, okay.
Let's see. Oh, wow. I rolled very high. You recover the equivalent of 8 hit die, so you can roll them to see how much you recover. And that's for all of you. It's an AoE. As well as that one I didn't roll as high. 1 spell slot for Gokked and Blibble. As
Nice.
this arcana kind of soars through you, this almost as though a rift to the Feywilds have been opened for just a brief moment. And the healing, rejuvenating air, full of magical energy, imbues you and your companions. And then you see Scoria kind of like gather his dark energy to him in anger and rage, and the rift is closed.
Are we all supposed to be rolling those dice?
Yeah. You get
Oh.
you
You can
can
roll up
you can
to-
click basically up to 8 times the thing where it says hit dice underneath, your temporary hit points and your actual hit points. If you just click on hit dice, it'll roll that hit die. And she said you can click it up to 8 times. Basically, that's how many hit dice you've gotten to use because of this effect. So click it as many times until you get up to full health, because I'm pretty sure you will. You'd have to roll incredibly terribly in order not to.
Oh, okay. So we're basically healing back to full for this fight.
Yes, if you can make it.
Oh, I thought we only gained 8 health and that was it.
No. Yeah, 8 hit die. It could have been as I was like, oh, I'll roll because you got the 17. I was like, oh, I'll roll. That'll be like, 3d6. And I happened to roll high enough that it was 8, but it could have been between 3 and 18. So
Basically, you're welcome. So Scoria gets pushed back a bit.
Mhm.
The wall of
And the
flame
fire
gets snuffed out.
Yeah.
And we get this healing boon as well as recovering 1 spell slot
Yes.
for casters.
Yeah. Seeing Nameless looking noble and rejuvenated behind him, and you looking ready for the fight and kind of like healed up, seeing your wounds closed in front of you, being pushed back near Gokked's feet. You feel the smoke kind of swirl around you, Gokked, as he says, "It's not too late. You can still join me. I can cure your affliction. And in return, all you have to do is exact my vengeance upon this Blibble. He is but a blip in the lifespan of those who serve an Afriti. In 20 years, you won't even remember this."
Well.
That's true. I wouldn't remember him, nor do I care. But I did warn you about what would happen if you didn't follow through with what you said, didn't I?
Which did happen.
Yeah. I was frustrated. I wanted him alone. and you failed in the task, so I had a little amusement with a greed curse. You can hardly blame me for entertaining myself. And I stopped it before you died. Or I would have, rather.
So this is this is one of those things where like I had no idea how this is gonna go, but like as the story has been played out, he lost his gold. You know, he's
Fair.
it didn't get what was promised. So I mean, this is Gokked in a very angry state, and I also have no idea if this is going to have any effect or not. But you know, at this point, Gokked would see the entity, and he's so pissed off that his everything that he acquired for this entire adventure is now in that pile, and he's still not been cured. So we're gonna go with Ray of Enfeeblement on Scoria.
Hey! Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the first hit for free since it's a sucker punch, and then after that, go ahead and roll for initiative.
This is not exactly how I thought it would go, but I mean, the way it's going, this is exactly how this character would be. Oh, roll for initiative, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Boop.
3.
Make sure I click the token. What? I did click the token. Don't lie to me, stupid roll 20. Well, I got a 17. Like that. It's like, you wanted to select the result of this roll of the church tracker, but no valid token was selected.
Bertha rolls with advantage, so she's got a 22. And then Scoria has an 8.
You have chose wisely, Gokked.
I was gonna say thank you, Barry, for being our dice fairy because
Thank
some
you, Dice
reason-
Fairy.
Roll 20 keeps hulling us a little bit on the on the initiative tracker. All right. So you cast Ray of Enfeeblement. Go ahead and make a ranged spell attack. It should be in that middle block. Let me double check on your sheet, actually. These are loading so slowly for me today. That's Ray of Sickness. Where's the Ray of Enfeeblement?
It should be in the chat.
Oh, it's a spell. Wait. Am I reading wrong? A black beam of enervating energy springs from your finger. So make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target deals only half damage with weapon attacks that use strength until the spell ends. At the end of each of the target's turns, it can make a constitution saving throw against the spell. So you still have to roll to hit. You get a +6 to your attack rolls. So just go ahead and give me a D20 +6.
That's something I click here, or do I have to type something out?
I think you can type it out because it's not in your quick actions. Or actually, it's the same as Ray of Sickness. So if you hit Ray of Sickness, it should do the same thing. A 25, that's a hit.
I have no idea if this is going to do a damn thing to Scoria. I have no idea what they're capable of. All I know is that it's a rage moment. Ah!
Time moves almost in slow motion for the rest of you as you see like Gokked almost speaking to himself, and then the hands come up and this sickly light spills out of his hands as he pelts Scoria with these enfeebling energies. You see the pale green light kind of scintillating off of his smoky form as he howls in rage. Bertha sees her moment and attacks first with the great axe. I think she gets 2 hits. Yes, she gets 2 hits. She's raging. So that's an 18 and a 17. Both of those are hits for I'm using a separate dice rollers for her because it's easier. For a 14 and a 10 for a total of 24 damage.
It's pretty good out the gate.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Let me actually.
And again, this is Scoria. I don't really know what they're gonna do.
You actually get to see a HP bar on this one since it is like the main boss fight. And I like to. I clicked HP 3 times and it's not. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay. And then, oh, wait, but y'all can't see it on the screen.
I cannot.
I hate that. I hate that for me. Let me refresh again.
In my mind, I just hear while we're doing this, like we're just standing there, and then it's Skyrim, like you're in a battle music.
Yeah. Dun-dun, dun-dun. I don't know. I'm like fighting
Never
with
should have
roll
come here.
with roll 20 today. My end, I see a health bar, but I can see on your end that you don't. Right?
New.
I don't see
Sometimes
anything.
I can see stuff if I look at like the main, like what JP's, capturing, but this time no.
I can't even click that I'm controlling it. Like the entire thing is like locking me out. It's very frustrating, very annoying.
Mm.
Okay. I guess we will move forward without a health bar. That makes me a little sad, but
You could just tell
it's
us the
fighting.
health. As it
Yeah,
happens.
it's about 10% health per
Cool.
2 blows. Yeah, I don't know why it's not letting me. Yeah, it's just being very frustrating. Okay. So yeah, she swings at it twice with her great axe, landing 2 blows to the creature's back. It's like Scoria lets out like a small like but still stands strong, at least for the time being. Blibble, you're up.
Yep. Blibble, seeing what happened with Gokked and the last words that he says were like I don't need your powers, right before he casts Hex and Eldritch Blast, he goes, and I see they don't either. And then he throws the Hex and follows it up with a agonizing Eldritch Blast.
Amazing.
Who saw that coming? It's crazy.
Is that a new spell?
It's a new one. Yeah, it's a new one. I'm trying it out. We'll see how it goes. A 19.
A 19 is a hit.
That would be 9 plus, I believe, 4, which is my charisma modifier.
For a 13.
Yep, and then roll 1 d6. It's a 2. 15 total damage on the first. I believe I have one more.
Second. This is also not updating the health for me. So the first one was a 13.
It's 15 total.
15 total. Perfect.
With everything.
Okay. And then go ahead and roll for your second beam.
Yeah. Switching hands. A 16.
The first one collides with Scoria, dealing a sort of like hearty blow, kind of blowing away some of this thick, choking smoke that is like filling the air around you. The second one he's almost prepared for and raises one shadowy claw and stops it.
Damn. He Dragon Ball Z'd me.
Gokked, you're up.
Oh. Well. Let's see. I also wonder, like, if some of this stuff would even work against Scoria. Well, shoot.
Are you telling me
how
the
about
whole time we were doing all this other stuff, you weren't looking at what you could do in your next move? You're not D&Ding hard enough.
Yeah, I know.
It's his first time, Max.
Learn as if we're harsh.
Keep checking him today. Damn.
Yeah.
It's the last time I get to do so in a little while. Let me have this.
My goodness.
I will. I mean, Gokked is just, staring down. Or I guess, I don't know, is Scoria standing up now or still kind of on the ground?
No, he was like kind of hunched down, and now he's like
Okay.
kind of raised himself up to his full height as he turns around to like deflect that eldritch blast from Blibble.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, if Scoria was still low to the ground, then I'd be doing like an Emperor Palpatine thing, like But since Scoria stood up now, okay, Gokked's gonna move behind Nameless. So we're gonna just take a couple steps back. Oh wait, no, is this the attack of opportunity?
Yeah, that would provoke an op attack.
Okay.
You can.
Okay. You haven't finished. You haven't finished saying anything.
It is his turn next turn, so it might be wiser to try to avoid the op attack versus
right.
being in his melee range next turn. But it's completely up to you.
So I have to. What is the ability to disengage then? That's what I want to do. Disengage,
that would take your action, but you can do that unless you have something that allows you to disengage on a bonus action, which some classes do, like rogues. I believe even Blibble
I have that, yeah. That's what allows me to, as a bonus action, I can disengage or I can hide, which I usually do. I don't believe I
so if you have a feature like that, you can use it on a bonus action, still use your action to do something. But unless you have a feature like that, it will take your action to disengage and then your movement to hide behind Nameless.
I don't see anything that lets me do that, so at least not from a glance anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to get away from her or him, whatever.
Yeah,
this
that's
being
fair.
Is
it's completely fair.
Do I have to roll for something to disengage?
No, you just get to do it. Yeah, so you don't provoke an op attack. Yeah, you disengage. You basically spend your action kind of deflecting its attack so you can move back without taking any damage.
Okay.
I
well,
see the health bar.
Yes, you're supposed to.
I know. Good.
Yay.
Anyway, Gokked will disengage and then kind of back up right here. Still should be able to see Scoria. But then, kind of looks to Nameless and, is like,
I've got your back, don't worry. Just watch out for the flamey stuff.
Oh, great. I feel so secure now. Thank you.
And I guess with that, my turn is done,
Oh, your cowardice knows no bounds. Okay. He's gonna do 2 things, I think. Yes. All right. So first, he surges forward towards Blibble, enraged that you've spurned his offer not once but twice. He strikes out at you with a shadowy scimitar. Oh, for a 13.
Just enjoying the moment because,
And
you know, you might roll high.
yeah.
soon, but that one does not hit.
As you duck underneath it deftly, he swings again for a
Ow.
24. You see the sort of ancestors that were surrounding Bertha before, you've seen her channel them before, come rushing out towards you, Blibble, as she tries to shield you using her sort of barbarian ancestral protectors. So whatever damage you'll take will be reduced by 8 this turn, since she's using her reaction to do that. And that's going to be
See some damage roll.
okay, so not bad. And then there's a little bit of extra fire damage on the end of it. So as the scimitar strikes out, and you feel like it's going to pierce through your flesh, you see like these spiritual entities kind of spill forward from Bertha as she puts her axe out and channels it towards you. You see this scintillating wall of white light kind of in front of your eyes, and then you see the axe pierce through it. The first attack is reduced by 8, so you kind of get a glancing blow of 4 slashing damage as its shadowy scimitar comes down on you. And then you feel your blood start to boil as you take an additional 4 fire damage. And that is his turn.
Does that attack
Raven-
use strength or rave enfeeblement?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Dexterity, actually, unfortunately.
I was hoping that I was like choosing wisely at this random spell that I just threw out, but
So how much total damage?
Wait. Hold up.
I'm holding?
No, it is strength.
yes,
No, it is strength.
I have chosen wisely.
It's one of those weapons that can be strength or dex, but to get the +10, it has to use its strength, not its dex. So I used it using its strength because I forgot about the ray of enfeeblement. Fantastic. I love this. Okay. So it's actually half of that.
You're welcome, Blibble.
The 4 is unmitigated, but between Bertha's shield and the enfeeblement, so the first one is reduced to 2. So a total of 6 damage.
Total of 6 damage total that's coming through.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It has been mocked. Ow, slightly.
All right. And
Really makes Blibble's blood boil. You know what I mean?
okay. And then that's going to be its turn. Wait, did I accidentally skip someone?
My turn's next, I think.
Okay. Good. I didn't know if I clicked the next turn button twice or once, but all right, you are up, Nameless.
All right, Nameless will run up behind and take a swing with the greatsword.
Fantastic. Roll to hit.
And miss probably with a 10.
Yeah, you see a shadowy claw come up and deflect the blade, holding it like for a brief second between its claws as you see sparks fly and it glances it aside.
And that's the end of my turn.
Oh my goodness. It is Bertha's turn again. I think Bertha's just gonna roll with with the great axe again. The first one is a 12 and misses. The second one is a 19 and hits, but only deals 10 damage. And you realize she's a bit shaken just seeing this massive hulking form in front of her, so unflinching in its hatred and rage of trying to like kill you, Blibble. There we go. And then it is your turn again.
My turn.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So, I currently am occupying this space. It just moved. Why is it moving that way now? I was here, right?
I think you were
It's
one
just south.
over. Yeah, actually,
I don't
let
have
me
the
just
grid,
take
so I
those-
don't actually
There we
have.
go.
There we go.
Mhm.
Okay. What I would like to do is move to this spot. Moving to this spot, I believe, would that invoke the attack of opportunity?
No, because you're not leaving his melee
I'm not
range.
leaving the space, right?
Yeah.
And if my math is correct here, I'm trying to move in such a way where if I thunder stepped away 10 feet, it's a 10 feet, each creature within 10 feet, would that be safe for these folk? Or
If
is
you
that
do it
nameless?
from like here,
Yes.
no,
I
you're
think
safe.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I
So
mean,
that is what Blibble's going to do.
I'm trying to think. I guess like technically Nameless is 10 feet away, but for me, it's like he's not in either of these. Because
This is
this
where mechanics
entity is
meet
so
like
large. Yeah. Because to me,
where
I'm like,
he would
this
just
is
move far enough away to knowing the space that he's going to do it. So it's really up to you. But the idea is to move adjacent to Scoria in preparation for an attack and like kind of fake him out. That's exactly what he would be doing. He'd be trying to like look like he's about to cast a spell and misdirect while really he was focusing on, I guess the point would be, because I think thunderstorms have to be like within, you can see within range. So he wouldn't be able to see inside the cave necessarily to like get like up here, and it probably wouldn't be great tactically. So he would move over here as far as he could see where he has sight line of Scoria to get some distance without invoking that attack and also dealing damage. So
gotcha. And you're just trying to avoid hitting anybody?
Yep.
Yeah. I think
so it's kind of drawing Scoria's attention. He might even be like, "Hey, Scoria, miss me," like just he taunts him.
I think because this is such a large entity, you could actually, because if you do it there, you will hit Nameless. I think you can do it from here.
Okay.
If you,
that's what I was asking to see, like what is the area that I'm
you're
still
not
occupying,
leaving his
so
threat range because he does occupy these 4 squares.
Yeah.
And so you could thunderstep from here over here, and then like Nameless is involved in melee with him, and so is it's a large entity. Smoky, wispy, swirling, but large. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to go like that, make it look like he's about to cast another spell and catch Scoria's attention. And then as soon as Scoria snaps attention, do Thunderstep and cause that to happen. So let's see. Is that a spot? Probably here. I don't know if this is like, can I occupy that edge?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And then from this, I'm assuming, still sightline because it's such a large creature.
Yes. Easily.
Okay. So he will go there.
Yeah, because
too much movement. That might be too much movement.
As long as you can make eyesight to like one of these 4 squares, you have line of sight. So even if you don't have it here, yeah.
Yep. Okay. So as he does that, it looks like he's about to cast like another Eldritch blast, but instead, like shoots his hand downward and like kind of like towards the ground, and it goes, and you hear that loud crack and slap of the spell happening as he teleports away. Doing.
I think they make a con save.
Again. Yeah, they make a save. I'm just going to click the spell so we can see it, because I don't think I can actually click it to do whatever the hell.
Okay, I got a dirty 20 on the save. So they take half as much
Half of
damage.
3d10. Yeah, I'll roll that.
Mm-hmm. Aren't your spell slots level 4? Or maybe I'm misremembering. No. Maybe they're level 3.
I think they're level 3 because it's only 2 below what you are typically, right?
Okay. Yeah,
I wanna say people-
yeah.
That's how I've remembered it. People have told me like usually it's like 2 below what your level is. So
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
cast.
Yeah, so if someone can cast like a level 6 spell, they're usually high level.
Believe me, if I could cast at level
I
4, I'd
DM'd
do
a
it.
game of D&D last night with very high level characters, so now I'm like trying to remember.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's 3d10, and it will be half of whatever this is. Let's get some high rolls. How about some high rolls? Let's go.
High rolls, let's go.
That's not terrible. But
That's not bad. So that is 8 thunder damage. And then save that. So you hear this thrumming that is echoing throughout these stone corridors that you are in as Blibble flashes away, kind of temporarily stunning Scoria with this successful feint.
Also, I believe if I can still do it as a bonus action,
Mm-hmm.
you'll hide behind that rock.
Yeah, go ahead and roll stealth. Oh, and that
Ooh.
20.
I'm invisible. Well, it makes sense too because the thunder step, capitalizing on the distraction and then hopefully losing track completely of where Blibble went.
100%. And all of that sound probably muffled any noises you would have made as well.
Mm-hmm.
Gokked, you're up.
Oh, all right. Apologies for what's about to happen. But Gokked moves right up behind Nameless. While Nameless is swinging at Scoria, Gokked eerily pulls his hand out with its creepy undead skin and just takes his cold dead finger and he pokes Nameless in the shoulder. And he gives him resistance.
Ah.
Well, what do you think was going to happen?
I don't know. You're poking people.
You can't just go
You're
around poking people
people.
saying you're going to apologize.
Now,
Well, it's smelly.
just so you know, because this is your first time playing D&D, this is another
Alright.
concentration spell. So if you
Okay.
cast resistance, it will drop the enfeeblement that you cast on Scoria in the prior round. You can only
it
have one
does?
concentration. Yeah, you can only have one concentration active at a time. You could cast like other spells as long as they're not concentration spells.
Oh, okay. Well, we definitely want to keep the enfeeblement. So anyway,
Yeah.
Gokked pokes Nameless says, "Hey, I got your back."
Well, hold on now. You can keep that for the RP, but do you want to keep more distance from Scoria?
No.
Okay.
We'll stay right here. We've got because there's other spells that I got that require touch that if in case the Nameless needs a heal or something like that. So I guess it's after the poke, toll. We're doing Toll of the Dead on the Scoria, I guess.
Okay, perfect.
Boop. All right. Crud.
Nameless
I
is
always forget.
overcome with a foul stench.
They make a wisdom saving throw.
I have Toll of the Dead on here as well. Do I just click that?
Yeah. Yes. So they only got a 10, so they do take the full damage. Wow, that's a little low.
Yeah.
So that's a 3. A total of 3 hit points. Yeah, your little bell dings. Wong. And you just hear Scoria chuckle.
Ugh, gosh.
ridiculous. Like being laughed at.
And then it is his turn. He is going to conjure another wall of fire. It's 60 feet long, 20 feet high, 1 foot thick. And this wall of fire, as it appears, each creature within its area must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, a creature will take a bunch of fire damage, or half the successful or half as much damage on a successful save. One side of the wall selected by you when you cast a spell deals that damage if you end your turn. And he's going to put it exactly where he put it before. Like, and actually he probably says this. He's like, trifling worm. And puts the wall of fire here. So, you choose which side emanates it. So we'll do the outside, which means, sorry, each creature within its area. Okay, so both Gokked and Nameless make the dex save, but then after the wall appears, only anybody that's within the wall's sphere of influence on Nameless's side has to repeat that dex save if you end your turn there within 10 feet of that side. So you won't have to repeat the save next time. Oof, a 6 and a 7. And then this is some high rolls for a 21 fire damage. And he's actually like shrieking in anger as he like casts this wall of fire on the two people he can see, kind of like you see the smoke beginning to choke Bertha as he says this too, and he goes, "Come out, Blibble. Where are you?" And you see this fire erupt as Nameless and Gokked both take 21 points of fire damage. Gokked, you tumble on the other side of this firewall and see it just like this opaque wall of surging fire ahead of you. But Nameless, it is your turn.
Nameless will move around to get out of the wall of fire,
Mm-hmm.
and I will bonus action use second wind to heal a little bit.
Oh, fantastic.
Wow, for 5. So whopping 5. And then take another swing. And I crit.
Ooh.
I was very mad that I just took a bunch of fire damage.
A nat
Very mad.
20. Yes.
And deal 22 damage.
And you're a half orc, so your crits are especially potent, are they not?
I'm a full orc, so no. I have a different
Oh, gotcha. For 22 points of damage. Yeah, you see Nameless, like, you see the anger grip him as he strikes down. Oh my gosh, I keep making these little. There we go. I was like trying to click on the thing, couldn't get it to go. And you see Nameless deal a hearty blow to Scoria with the greatsword, kind of ringing out. He's been buffeted by flames, completely pantsless, but still brave as he stares down this Afridi. Would you like to do anything else on your turn? Actually, I think that was
No.
your bonus action in your action. Okay.
Yeah.
Bertha is up. Bertha's going to, like, inspired by your action, she's like, "Good one, friend," and strikes out twice with her great axe. The first one misses with an 11, and the second one misses with a 9. She readjusts her grip and kind of is like, I'll get him on the next one. It's a sweat. My hands are sweaty. This thing's letting off a lot of heat right now. Blibble, it's your turn.
Blibble says nothing. Oh, this time, no taunting. Just hopefully, just immediately doing some agonizing blast.
Yeah.
Poking out from the rock. Let me go here and get the spell. Go bang.
19 is a hit.
We got that. Cool. Then it's +4
For a total of 12 damage.
Ooh.
6. Ooh,
Oh, amazing. For a total of 18 damage.
that's the first one.
And that's only the first.
I feel like Blibble also too, like when he pops out, he wanted to be like, I'm right, but then stops himself, thinks better of it right before casting these out. Ooh, 24.
A 24 is also a hit.
I thought so. Ooh, good rolls. Way to go, Blibble. Let's go. Get some
For
revenge. Work out some
14.
issues. Yep. I just hit up. I don't know why I'm not just hitting up to do the same roll again. Is it? You gotta hit it up again. No, it's because it wants to do the attack damage. Weird. 1d6. 3. Not as crazy, but I'll still take it. That's a good. There's some good rolls.
Listen. It all counts. So that's for an additional 17 damage. Correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then attempts to hide again behind the rock.
Attempts to hide.
Yeah, you gotta hide.
You got it.
Not so great that time.
Yeah, as you pop out and both of your Eldritch Blasts collide with Scoria, he hisses in rage. And as you try to duck down behind that rock again, you can tell his eyes are now fixed upon you as he's like, you little worm.
Shit.
Gokked, you're up.
So this fire, it's like directly in front of Gokked, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if I walk through it, I take more damage.
Yes. So if you end your turn within 10 feet of that side or inside the wall, then you take damage. And if you enter the wall for the first time, you take damage.
Okay.
So
if I
you
stay where
run
I'm
through
at,
it
I'll
and clear it, you won't have to roll again, if that makes sense.
okay.
Oh, but this is concentration, so it has to make con saves for it's very good at those. For the damage it's taken thus far, which was 20. Okay, so it's gonna make some con saves. Dun, dun, dun.
I have two choices. I'm either going to back up 10 feet like here, or I'm going to try to go here if I'm able to.
Okay.
I don't know.
So it needs to be an 11 on the attack from Nameless, and then it needs to beat a 10 on the 2 attacks from Blibble. So it makes the first one. It makes all of them. So the wall of fire does remain in play. As you're just like pelting this thing with attacks, and you see the smoke even starting to dissipate and thin as your attacks are effective, the wall of fire still remains as this thing is able to concentrate on keeping it up.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, so right now, right where I'm standing is unsafe. I have to move 10 feet away, right? Which is be like right
No,
here.
the wall of fire only comes from one side. So where you are is actually fine. You can stay there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I try to go through to where a nameless is, I'll take a damage hit, right?
Yeah, you'll have to make a dex save.
Okay.
And
Alright, then-
you'll take that damage one time and then you'll be free of it.
All right. I will. I mean, I don't. I'm stuck. Right here. So I guess we'll just do another. Gokked will just do another Toll of the Dead, which I think I have right here. Pew.
I think for Toll the Dead, you actually have to be able to see the enemy. And because the firewall is opaque, you can't.
One could argue that you can see through the shimmering of flames, perhaps.
One could
a solid
argue.
wall.
Actually,
And perhaps maybe, I don't know, you could make him roll to see if you can even cast it or something.
Well, shit. I don't
Yeah.
know what to do. I guess. Damn, I'm not certain what the. I mean, I have
I'm
to
no
wait for this
DM.
firewall.
I'm just somebody here who's saying stuff.
It does specify that it's an opaque wall in the spell, Max.
Oh, okay. All right. Intense fire.
Because it wants to force you to walk through it.
Okay. Well, so Nameless will be able to hear Gokked going,
I can't see anything. Where is it? What's going on? What is happening on the other side? I don't see nothing. Hello?
and my turn is over.
With that, it is Scoria's turn. Scoria sees Blibble again. And in his rage, hurls 2 motes of fire at him.
Does it affect the firewall at all?
No, because it's not a concentration spell. Yeah,
it's
it's
not
just hurl
concentration.
flame. Yeah.
Okay.
For a 9, what is that roll?
That
10. What is that roll?
was pathetic. Losing your touch, Scoria. What's the matter? Haven't latched to enough strong people.
Yeah, you see the 2 motes of flame kind of crash on the rocks around you, and he hisses and shrieks again. Nameless, it's your turn. That's all he can do on this round.
Love it.
Nameless will use bonus action to Fighting Spirit to give himself advantage on the
Mhm.
attacks, 5 HP and bonus HP, and then we'll take a swing for 17.
For 17, that's a hit.
Okay, for 13 more slashing.
13 more slashing damage. Yeah. He shrieks as like in anger and rage as your sword cleaves him in 2 and his attacks are missing. Bertha, inspired by your example, strikes out twice with her great axe. For a 26, that's better. And the second one's a miss, but the first one hits for an additional, that's good, 15 slashing damage, kind of taking advantage of this creature's frustration to get a little bit of her pot shots in where she can. That's an additional 15. You see Scoria begin to become desperate as he is engaged in a battle that he is losing. Needs to make 2 con saves as well. Makes the first one and makes the second one, keeping that wall of fire up. Blibble, it is your turn.
Nice. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Ready? It's going to be a little crazy. We're going to throw some.
You want an Eldritch Blast?
agonizing- Yeah, I want to do some Eldritch Blast. Mix it up.
What about some blasting Eldritch?
Yeah. How about we blast the Eldritch power this time, as in an agonizing fashion? Let's do it. He stalls
in an
while
in an
you can click on the
agonizing
thing.
fashion.
Yeah. Bam! That's the first one. Ooh, not so great on that one. It's a 10 that I roll. I don't think I have any advantage right now, other than just revenge. Does that count as advantage?
Let me see.
You can check a rule book. No, revenge doesn't count as a. Okay.
No, revenge doesn't. I'm looking through the rules.
The other one. Hey,
and
it's
I
a
don't
20! Woo!
And I don't see
Dirty
revenge
20.
counting as
The dirty 20.
as you know. But that's just I'm looking at revenge.
I appreciate you
and it's just,
checking.
yeah. Well, you have to.
Oh my God! Look at the damage I rolled.
Oh
no! I rolled a 1.
You're too busy taunting.
For damage. Rolled a 1 for damage, not for the ability to hit. It's a very
It's still
important
a
distinction.
5. Yeah, it's still a 5.
Yeah. Right. It's a 5 right now, and then roll
Score
1.
is getting wrecked right now. Jeez.
Ah.
Mhm.
Aha! An additional 5. So 10 damage.
Yeah. It deflects your first Eldritch Blast with a clawed hand, and as the claw comes down, the second one nails it in the face for an additional 10 damage. He hisses, but can't do anything to you on this turn. Gokked,
Yep.
you're up.
Hide. Hide. I gotta roll my stealth. I do it every time.
Roll your stealth.
It's my
The fire is still there.
8.
The fire's still out. He has to make another con save.
Rolled an 18.
The fire's still
Damn.
there.
Oh my gosh.
He is
I mean,
very
yeah.
outnumbered. He
If
thought
Scory
you would
hasn't
join him.
moved-
He's keeping you in timeout.
Here's a question, though, genuine question, mechanically, because it's
Mhm.
D&D and you can kind of do whatever as long as it makes sense.
Mhm.
If Scory hasn't moved and he knows that Scory hasn't moved, he could technically just cast the same way that he did the
Yeah,
first
you
time
could
and hope it hits.
try. You could try to hit, especially hearing the sounds of combat. You can definitely try to
If you heard the
use
hiss,
a ranged spell attack against a creature you can't see. You just roll with disadvantage. The reason you couldn't do Toll the Dead is because Toll the Dead specifies that you have to see the
need to have
creature.
visual.
But if
visual
it's
component.
something that you can just aim, I think like Ray of Frost or maybe even Ray of Sickness, I have to look at the spell. But a lot of them, you would just roll with disadvantage because you can't see the target, but you could still attempt to.
Something to consider if you don't have anything else, because then it's at least an
Oh,
attempt.
100%.
This
Yeah.
says a
Some sort
creature
of-
within range for Ray of Sickness.
Yes, which means you just roll your ranged attack and you just do so at disadvantage because you're trying to hear where it is. You're kind of it's guesswork.
It's more something to think about if you have no other options. You know what I mean? Especially since you're not like a up close melee character. It's mainly casting for you. So if you don't have an option with other spells that you normally use, whatever you can try to do, it's better than just sitting there being like, I can't do nothing.
I was gonna role play going to search for treasure in some of those crates on the.
I'm not telling you what to do. You do what makes sense for your character.
That's literally what I was getting ready to do. Like Gokked just kind of goes to this crate and starts searching. But if I can do an attack, then I will try to do an attack.
Just making sure your character has knowledge that he already would have being himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think
totally up to you.
how many spells do I have? Because I don't think the stain actually keeps track of how many spells. Right? You have to keep that in your own head.
Yeah.
There is a little dots to mark them off. I want to say on your main sheet.
It's a terrible system. I don't like it.
Once again, we're not sponsored by Roll20, so we can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it keeps track of your channel divinity and your divine power on the main sheet. But then for your spell slots on the spell page, wait, does it keep track? Okay, yeah. So there's it'll say slots total on the left-hand side, and then it says slots remaining on the right-hand side. And you can manually kind of tick them down to mark that what you used and what you haven't used.
Also, since I usually do Eldritch Blast, I don't have to keep track as much. I can basically be like,
Yeah,
I've
it's
only
just a
used
cantrip.
like 1 or 2, actual spells.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! Yeah. Well.
Would
Honestly,
you
I'm
like
not
more time to
certain how
think about
many.
this?
No, it's fine. We can use. I'm pretty sure I have at least one. So, I guess I'll just
Yeah,
try
I'm
that
pretty
ray
sure
of.
you have at least one too,
Yeah.
especially for your level 2 spells. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, for your level 2 spells, I know you've definitely only used Ray of Enfeeblement, so you should have
Yeah.
2 of those left. Because you haven't used Keeper's Vault or
No,
Gentle
haven't used anything
Repose.
else.
So you have
But you can
2 of
also.
those left. And so you can use like Ray of Sickness and use a second level spell slot. Just because it's a first level spell doesn't mean you can't cast it at a higher level. So
Right.
if there's like
Yeah.
if there's a level 1 spell you want to use, but you don't have a level 1 spot or a level 1 spell slot, you can cast it at the second level
All right.
and
Well,
use
I'm
one
definitely
of
going to
those
use.
2.
I'll definitely use Ray of Sickness on this fight. Like right now, I'll
Okay.
wear. Like whatever. Here's the hiss. And here's Nameless swinging. And he remembers where he cast last time. So let's give it a shot here. And
Mhm.
see what hits. And I don't know if it actually has a thing or not. Do I have to roll? What do I have to roll? Do I just roll to hit first?
It'll be the +6 on the main page. So not on the spell
Ah,
page, but on your main character sheet. It'll
yeah,
be
Ray of
that plus.
Sickness is there. Do I just click that?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Boink.
Yeah, you Nameless, you see like a scintillating beam kind of come out of the firewall and like stop short, like just a few feet short of where Scoria is, kind of like going wide as it's like shot with like kind of wild guesswork of where he
Did
might
I
be.
did I hit it? Nameless, did I get it?
Yeah, it's dead. You got it.
Take that, you bastard!
Um, this is hilarious, actually. It's actually hilarious. As this happens, and you hear like, yeah, it's dead. Scoria assumes a gaseous form.
Punk.
Um, yeah, he turns like you see him become less corporeal as he kind of rides this line between planes and becomes like this gaseous creature. Uh basically granting him resistance to any non-magical damage. And he then like easily immune to fire damage, you would all notice now, passes through the wall of fire and back to Gokked. You do get an op attack, Nameless.
I was gonna
Bertha
say.
also gets an op attack, but like I said, he is resistant to non-magical damage.
So they go
Um,
gaseous before they move, obviously.
yeah.
6
13
slashing damage.
Or 6, yeah. I guess it would be half, right?
6. Bertha does 7.
Are you
So
rolling for
it's
Bertha? Can we not see the rolls for Bertha for some reason?
no, I'm doing it on D&D Beyond because that's where her character sheet is housed. Because
Okay.
I go between both of them. So it's still a total of 13. Or yeah, for your damage. Bringing him down to what is that? 32? Yeah. Both of your blades like strike true, but you notice like with the thin wispy nature of it, it's like trying to fight a cloud. It like sort of slips through the wall of fire effortlessly, reaching Gokked on the other side and says, "It's not too late, Gokked. I know my methods may be cruel, but you and we can come to an understanding. I can offer you more than a balm for your condition. I can offer you much more. You seem like a smart businessman. Let us do business. And that's going to be
go!
his
I'll
turn.
see him!
It's not dead.
Nameless. yeah, he's very much not dead. You realize this now as it floats towards you. Very much not dead.
Does he have to make concentration checks on getting hit by our attacks for the firewall?
Yes. The firewall is immune to fire damage, so that doesn't do anything. But you are correct. No!
Yes. Well lawyered, Dan. Well lawyered indeed. The DM shrieks in sadness as it has just been lawyered.
You see the firewall fall as it's almost like desperately trying to barter with Gokked. Gokked maybe doesn't realize the desperation because Gokked is also scared. But Nameless, you would see that it is now sort of bartering for its existence on this plane, at least, seeking not to be banished from whence he came. And the wall of fire descends.
Nameless will sneak up behind it slowly while it's distracted by talking, and will use his last fighting spirit to get advantage, and then we'll take a swing.
Oh, shit. Nice.
That's a hit.
This is 18. I'm pretty sure you would
16 slashing damage.
Perfect.
And he'll do an action surge to swing one more time.
Oh, shit.
That's
Or-
another hit.
Oh, shit.
11 more slashing.
Um,
So 8 and
it
5.
hisses. Yeah, it hisses again. So yeah, it hisses as you're like buffeting its gaseous form with these hits. I'm trying to. I think that's right, math. But you notice your axe attacks are less effective as it's like the mists kind of swirl around you. It still is pleading for its life in some ways. And it actually turns to you now, Nameless, and says, "Do you seek to rejoin your tribe? I could help you with that." And you hear Bertha say, "Enough," and come forward and also strike twice. I'll go ahead and do
Shit.
these on this because it's actually a +7 as well. So for
Oh.
only one
Oh.
hit.
We'll do 22 on the first one and then 11 on the second attempt, by the way, for the audio listeners.
+4. Oh, that's good. So 13 for another 6 damage as her great axe, the first time, going wide, clattering against the stones, that the creature chuckles and she says, "Enough of your nonsense," and hits him on the backswing. Blibble, it is your turn. You see
Blibble
a
sensing.
greatly weakened gaseous scoria, thin wisps of smoke, barely holding a human form, like pleading for its life from your party companions in this cave.
Blibble sensing Scoria's weakened state and desperation will move up here, the extent of the 30 feet that he can move, and strike out with 2 agonizing blasts in a very surprising fashion.
Mm-hmm.
$25.
25 is a hit.
Bleh.
Roll your damage.
Ooh.
Plus another 4 would be 8.
Yep.
And another 4.
12.
Which leaves it with 1 HP.
Yeah.
But he has another
He coughs and
attack.
goes, "Think about this, Blibble. think about what you're doing.
I have. It's time to be done with you. Son of a bitch! Why can't the dice just go along?
Yeah. As you your rage overtakes you, it almost gets the better of your tactical advantage.
Now,
Gokked.
this is going to be a little lawyery, and you can totally tell me to go fuck myself.
Yeah.
But is it possible that I did the first attack, that hit,
Uh-huh.
and I invoke Fury of the Small?
Yes, it's larger than you.
That's right, it is.
It's much larger than you. You can invoke
Yep.
Fury of the
You
Small.
can cause the attacker spell to deal extra damage to the creature. The extra damage equals your level.
With an extra 5 damage, it dies.
Yep. So maybe it's out of frustration. Yeah.
Yeah. The first one hits it and kills it, and the second one is just honestly Blibble just shooting at a dead creature at that point.
That's what
As
you
the
get,
wisps of
bitch!
smoke dissipate. And it is defeated once and for all. Exit initiative order.
I hate that guy. Bull kind of like catches his breath.
Yeah.
Gokked looks at
Good job,
Nameless and
everybody.
is like,
Nice job.
Yeah, you saw that it wasn't dead. Yeah, I mean, it is now, but it wasn't when you said it was dead. It wasn't standing like right there.
Tribes have always warned to not make deals with these creatures. They never end well.
That's right, they don't. Was that the reason you act all weird? He says towards the
Who
doctor.
are you talking to?
You, numbnuts. You're the reason we're even here. Not even supposed to be here. He tried to convince you, didn't he?
I was here for the gold.
Oh, he like kind of just like mumbles to himself. Almost got us all killed.
As Blibble catches his breath and mumbles to himself about how Gokked's greed nearly destroyed and killed all of them, that'll be where we take our break. We'll be right back. Stretch your legs, get some water. When we come back, we're going to conclude our final episode with this crew.
yay!
Welcome back. You all gain 7,200 experience points as Blibble's former patron is dispatched from this plane for now.
Yeah.
And in fact,
7.
as you are sort of contemplating the smoking remains, Blibble, Bertha claps like a hand on your shoulder and is like, "You did it, friend, but I think we should scatter his remains far from here. I've been thinking about how you were able to bring me back to the plane of the living, or why spirits are able to manifest here so easily. And I think there is something about Ronia's teeth in this place that we are that allows the souls and those departed to be here longer than otherwise. I don't think you would have been able to resurrect me from the dead any other way. Yeah, I think we should take these ashes and dispense of them far from here in a running river so that he can no longer come back to this plane so easily or
I
reassume
agree.
this form.
I don't want to deal with him ever again if I can within my life. I'd love to say he's gone forever, but I don't think that's the case. It's gone to a different plane for now.
Mm. As she
Little-
says this, she, like, with a gloved hand, sorts through the smoking ashes and then pulls out a magenta colored glass bottle that is wider on one end and thin on the top. She regards it for a moment and then hands it to you, Blibble.
She put the ashes in there.
No, actually,
did
as
she
you
just-
examine it, you notice it was like amongst Scoria's effects.
All right, Blibble takes it and goes, back at this. Examines it.
Yeah. You obtain an ever smoking bottle. This is a stoppered bottle that, if you are to remove the cork, emits a thick black smoke that fills a 60-foot radius. Everything in this cloud's area is heavily obscured, and the cloud remains for as long as the bottle is open and grows in 10 feet as long as the bottle is unstoppered until it hits a maximum radius of 120 feet. Closing the bottle requires you to speak its command word, and you can choose what that command word is. And once it's closed, the cloud disperses after 10 minutes. A moderate wind can also disperse the smoke. And I can give you that text block in Discord.
I was going to say, I was typing and then I was like, what if you just gave me that text block? That would be nice.
Yeah.
The safe word
You will
is
also
Scory's
see
a bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
made of human bones, dice amongst
Okay.
the ash and effects.
Human bone dice.
Mm-hmm. And Gokked, as you go to roll the dice, you realize something that fills you with pleasure.
Huh?
Whatever number you are imagining is what the dice always roll.
Oh.
You obtain the charlatan's dice. Whatever number you think of in your mind, if you roll, as you put them in your dice cup and roll, if you imagine an 18, you see 3 6s on the die. Like whatever number you imagine is what they roll every single time.
Oh, goody. And I assume they all see that I have these dice now, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's nice. So yeah, Gokked definitely takes that and puts it in his pocket.
Yeah.
Very excited. Also, while we're all standing around, he is kind of glancing. He looks kind of distracted because he keeps looking over where that pile of treasure, wondering if Scoria's death or whatever has done something to all that gold over there.
And wait, so are you wondering, do you go and touch the gold again?
No, not touching. Just kind of looking, dude.
Yeah, if he's
He's just
looking at
seeing-
it,
All right, just
if he's
kind
looking
of like
at it,
curious.
Blibble will immediately interject and be like, don't even think about it. I know exactly what's going on up there. Don't go in that cave. Don't jeopardize all of our lives again.
Have you not learned your lesson?
Those kobolds are still in there, you dummy.
Well, yeah, maybe now that the entity is gone, maybe it's not cursed anymore. Just a thought, Besides, you just kicked the hell out of a smoke monster. What are the little kobolds gonna do to you? I just I made a little joke there. That's all. Want to roll dice to see if we go or not?
You understand? You almost got everybody killed.
Well, hold on now. I believe that thing was more your thing that was hunting you. It was fixated on you, not us.
And it got the opportunity to try to exact its revenge because your dumb self listened to it.
I didn't listen to nothing. I followed the gold.
And who put the gold there, stupid?
I'm sorry, but in the thought process, Smoke Demon wasn't the first thing that popped in my mind about who put some gold somewhere.
Does your greed have something to do with your current condition?
Perhaps, yes, maybe. I don't like to talk about it, but, yeah, you know, long time ago, yada yada, long story short, I might have upset another entity.
You know, Scoria said something to you. You failed in your task. What was that about, huh?
Wait, there was you guys heard something like that? I thought that
Yeah.
was all in my head.
I think they said it.
Yeah, he said it out loud. Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, well.
What?
Originally, when he talked to you, he did so psychically, but the second time was a lot more desperate. And he thought he had the cover of the wall, but the wall fell because he had like lost his concentration on it.
Okay, all right.
So that very last bit where he was like pleading, you know.
If you take too long to respond, he says, like,
I said, what? What?
Yeah. You know what? Scoria brought you here, didn't he? He wanted you to get me here. Hateful creature. Because I rid myself of him. And got something better. That's the thing with Scoria, and you strike a bargain or a pact with something like that. It's nice at first. They don't care about you. You're just a means to an end. What did they give you? Or did they promise you something? Something you really wanted? He like looks at you. Yeah. Without saying it, like basically acknowledging like I know what they dangled in front of your head.
Gokked's not going to talk about that, but he is going to acknowledge.
Well, I clearly helped, did I not? So the only thing that brought me here was gold. Maybe I like it a little too much, but I don't think there's anything wrong with being rich.
When are you gonna learn? Doesn't matter if you're rich, if you're not alive to spend the gold.
Well, I don't like being the pawns of others. I'd rather die trying to be rich than live in squalor.
But trying to get those golds and those riches, you became a pawn of somebody else. Ain't that a bitch? We should go.
Nobody's pawn. It's dead. I'm not.
I'm not very smart, but even I can tell you are not dumb. You are pretty dumb.
I love that you stumbled on your words. I'm not very
It
smart,
makes
but
it
even
better.
you're a dum-dum.
It made it even better. Yeah. As you say these words, Nameless, Bertha finishes with a gloved hand kind of gathering the scattered ash into a small leather pouch. She ties it tightly and kind of hangs it at her belt. And there's only one piece of the corpse remaining on the floor. she nudges it with her foot kind of towards you, Nameless, and you see a double-bladed scimitar, the one wielded by Scoria, sitting on the ground, still smoking with the heat from his Afridi sort of hand wielding it, but otherwise like inert.
Nameless bends down to pick up the weapon to see if it's of good quality.
Yeah, it is. It's not magical in nature, but it is a martial weapon, and it allows you. So if you make an attack with the scimitar as part of the attack action on your turn, you can use your bonus action to make a melee attack with it. So it basically allows you to attack twice. Not magical in nature, but sharp. And in fact, as you're holding it, you realize that the flame-like quality it had before, when it had almost cut Blibble in half, was from the gin itself and not from the blade. The blade is of just very simple, sharp, good metal.
This good, this mine.
That seems fair. You kicked ass there, Nameless. Good job. Thank you, by the way. All of you. Except for, well, there was one that was responsible for all of this in the first place. But, we should get out of here.
Unless he wants more gold.
I'll fuck him. If he wants some more gold, he's going to die in there. I don't care anymore.
Let's complete the task that we were assigned to do.
You were paid already,
Unless
Gokked.
you want to stand here and continue to insult me.
You were paid already, Gokked. I'm going to be honest. As far as being the leader of this outfit, I released you from your contract. I'll deal with it later. You want to stay with the group? Go for it. But you're a liability. Go get your gold.
Oh, very well. He's not going back in there, though.
Yeah. Something to note with the scimitar, Dan. It is a little bit of a homebrew scimitar. So, it deals, instead of dealing 2d6 like your greatsword, it deals 2d4. But normally with the scimitar on the extra attack, you only deal 1d4. This one always deals 2d4 damage every single time.
Okay.
So it's a downgrade in damage over the greatsword, but an upgrade in that you can attack twice with it when you use it or when you attack with it as part of an attack action. So it doesn't work on op attacks, but it does work on if you just attack with it. Mhm.
Unless there are any objections. He clearly doesn't care about what we're doing here. And we got here because of him, which nearly killed us all.
Mm.
I don't see a reason for him to stay with us.
As you say this, Blibble, I think Bertha will speak up and be like, Blibble, if you return to the guild with one of your party missing, you'll be held accountable. You know that, right? They'll blame you. You said it yourself. You're the leader.
I'd rather be able to actually return. We nearly almost died, all of us. You again, because of his greed.
I agree. You seem proud of your standing. She kind of gestures towards your 2 stars. I don't want to see them sanction you for abandoning him out here. He goes back and tells them, snitches, and we know he's not trustworthy.
Gonna snitch about what? That his demon followed us here to murder us all, and that I was drawn by the ideal of loot in a cave? You are fine. I will happily go back to where the goblins were and fix the death flowers as I promised, Nameless, in honor for you sticking around and helping me in that cave. and I will take my leave. Isn't necessary for me to follow you around. I believe the task is done. The beast is dead, and whatever is happening with the cave, well, I'm sure it's already has something to do with whatever this was. I have fulfilled my task.
Blibble walks square up to you and like he's looking up. Well, actually, you're a little bit taller than him. He walks square up to you. He's like,
Slightly.
You betrayed us. You betrayed me. You want to say all these words to the rest of them and make yourself feel better? Go ahead. You're not getting past me. It's up to you. What do you want to do? I know I can't trust you. You want to go get your gold? Maybe there's more gold where we're going. I don't know. She does have a point. I get in trouble. But at this point, again, it's about weighing staying alive versus trying to chase more gold. At this point, I'd rather just try to stay alive. And you, with your presence here, with the rest of the group, you jeopardize that.
he's just staring you down. I'm going to roll for intimidation as well. Oof. That's a nat 20.
Ooh.
He's dead serious when he's talking to you right now. You get the sense about him that, like, if you fuck up one more time, he'll kill you himself. So this is, he's giving you an out. Like, are you able to stay in line, or do I have to worry about you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is he asking, like, do I want to continue with the party, or is this like, do I take off, kind of thing? Yeah, that's what it sounds. I don't know. So I guess Gokked will look back at you, but obviously it's Gokked, so he's a little nervous in his eyes, of course. But again, still,
I still don't know what you're talking about, betrayal. It's just gold. I don't know what the big deal is, but listen, if you want me to join you, you've already been paid, I will stay. But if you don't, if your answer is get moving, I will happily do so.
He's like looking at you, looks at Bertha for a second, like just trying to get a read on her face.
Yeah. Trying to get a read on her face. You notice two things. One is that she's impressed with you. Like, you're exhibiting a lot of leadership and presence. And she's like, she notices that you've grown from this experience. But the second thing you read on her face is pity for Gokked. Like, you notice, like, she feels bad for him. The way one would for Gollum from Lord of the Rings, like that type of, yeah.
Can't just leave him, Mr. Frodo.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
All right. He looks at that, puts his gaze back to you and says,
Fine. She's right. More trouble if I leave you out here. If I sense anything going wrong with you, I will kill you myself. And that is a threat. Now let's go do what we need to do and be done with it.
Fine.
Where are those beasts at? Are they still around? Nameless, do you see them?
he's like looking.
Mhm. You see the beast some distance away, spooked by the sounds of battle, but still there.
Do any of you have pants?
That's it. That's the end of the show.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
God, I
see-
forgot you don't have any pants on.
Yeah, he's done this entire fight in his underwear. Like, the entire thing. Which
So
is
great.
hilarious. Yeah. You, between all of you, managed to procure some pants for Nameless. You make your way slowly, and the group is not as joyous as it was before, maybe a little more somber. towards this pinnacle camp. As you make your way further up into the reaches of the mountains, Bertha finds a glacial spring and scatters the ashes in the water, hoping to rid them of their power. You're all relieved to see these strange cairns kind of fade into the distance behind you and leave the unsettling environment of this funereal canyon. And as you reach the upper altitudes of the mountains, you're met with fresh mountain air and just feel like you're brand new people bathed in the sunlight as you ascend. It's cold, but even the cold feels refreshing. You can hear birds again, nesting amongst the trees. And even more importantly, you see the odd animal here and there, little squirrels and other creatures, skinks, going about their business. And it is a far cry from the horrors of the undead that you faced in the canyon down below. When you reach the pinnacle camp, the task before you is so simple compared to the labor you undertook before. You're able to wrap it up rather quickly. With ease, one could say. The matter is a simple one. One person within the camp was creating trouble, wanting to stoke the flames of war by simply paying some of the people of the town to hide out in the mountains so that they could claim that the work at the forge, the blacksmithing forge, had come to an end, or come to a stop, or slowed down at least, seeking to line their own pockets by getting a cut of mercenary squads that would have to be bought off to help kind of create this conflict between the Meridian Company and your township. You gather this information, as well as maybe the names of some of the people that you believe are involved. Make your way back, having successfully solved this rather elementary mystery.
Quick cut to Blibble.
Give me the names! I want the names! God damn it!
As you return to Loftum, the city looks different from the backs of your pack beasts. It looks smaller somehow, especially for you, Blibble, having overcome this great personal venture of yours. You see Marin again, happily doing a shift at the guild counter. She takes your paperwork from you, and as she does and stamps it, she says, "So, do you want to put in any of your party members for guild endorsement? Theoretically, this would allow you to become a 1-star guild member. Well, not you, but your 2 party members."
The only one I would endorse would be Nameless if they wanted to. Gokked,
Oh, wow,
absolutely
nameless.
not.
What do I write? Do I keep it blank?
I do not wish to join any guild. Thank you very much.
I figured as much, but I wanted to give you the
Oh.
option.
Why? You get free room and board. There's so many good bennies.
The wilds
The
provide
Loxodon-
everything that I need.
Yeah, the Loxodon looks at you inquisitively and almost like impressed as you make this remark about the wilds. So you just sleep out under the trees?
Yes, nature is my bed. I lie in it every night.
Do you ever get
Nameless.
lonely?
I have the animals, the stray traveler. I am content.
Oh.
Nameless, if you ever need any help, you can find me here in Loftham. There's a former tannery that I frequent. I know you're a pretty solitary guy. But if this is something I can do for you, I appreciate your help with me.
That is most kind. I shall remember that if I ever need you.
Marin then like side eyes Gokked and then whispers to you, but because she's an elephant person, her whispers are very loud. Is that one a bad one? It's not recommendation worthy?
No, I would just recommend Nameless. And here's a more detailed description of what part of my report here. And he just gives like a something he scribbled like on the way back. It reads basically. Gokked can't see it unless Marin reads it out, but it just goes. Would not recommend for endorsement. Would strongly advise avoiding for future, work. Untrustworthy, nearly compromised the mission, et cetera, just outlining what happened.
And just tries to get some gold. So she, tell you what,
This
man's got a
very,
demon chasing him.
It's very juicy drama. She like folds it in half. And you brought back a second in command from the Federation of the FD. Wow.
Oh yeah, this is Bertha.
I missed out on one adventure, and next time I'm coming with Blibble. This
Next
was one
time
of the
I'd
good
happily
ones.
have you come with.
I missed
Crazy out there.
everything. I missed everything. Ugh.
But you're doing good for yourself here.
Yeah, I'm trying. Oh. I rolled my ankle while you were gone, so they have me on desk duty. Yeah. Some
Shit,
people
that
think
sucks.
elephant people don't have ankles, but we do. So until it heals, I'm just here. But maybe on the next one, I'll come with you instead of.
Yeah, speaking of whatever, in the task at hand of completing this mission assignment for the guild, some of the payment was lost in the battle. Is there a perhaps reimbursement of that, perhaps?
Oh, of course, we have insurance forms. She pulls out like a big thick stack of paper and she hands it to Blibble. You just need your project and manager, your sort of leader to fill out the requisite paperwork. I noticed
What
here in
exactly
your
did you
report
lose
that
there? This is news to me, Gokked.
someone lost their pants. If you need a replacement for those, then you'll be happy to replace them.
He was
Well,
fighting
Losing your pants
the whole
in the
time.
middle of a
He was
fight.
crazy. He was fighting without. I forgot he was wearing pants.
Just butt cheeks flapping in the wind. So
They don't
funny.
flap.
Oh my.
He fought very good though. Very ferocious fighter.
We could definitely get those replaced. We'll just need your counter signatures and some extra information on this form, Blibble, as well as for any other materials or equipment damaged or lost during your expedition.
Yeah, I'll make sure everybody gets what they're owed. No more, no less.
There you go, Mr. Goathead. That'll be, Blibble will handle it for you. You should see a reimbursement in anywhere from 3 to 18 days.
Oh, right, fine, I guess. There was the 250 that the gold. It was in the satchel that we had to put back in the thing. It was all in one bag, everything, including the horn and the golden feather.
Why did we have to throw it in there again?
Yeah, it was cursed by the smoke demon thing.
It was brought to us
You
by
remember
whom?
Nameless? Why were we even in that cave to begin with? I can't even. It's all foggy now to me. You know. You remember?
Some person said we need to go there, and we went there, and it turned out they were not nice.
Both of us just looking at you.
Could have happened to anyone. Anyway, the reimbursement, yes?
You'll get what you're owed. No more, no less.
Well then, I'm happy. The tension could be cut with a knife.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Marin notes the tension and is like, well, I have to get back to work. And just like, doesn't even leave the cage, just turns around to put her back to the three of you because she's so uncomfortable by the by the exchange between Gokked and Blibble. She just like turns around and starts eating like a little sandwich.
Well, all right. Then Gokked looks at Blibble and says,
So is that it then? Are we done?
Job's done.
Well, it's
If there's
been a
anything
pleasure.
else from you, that's all I got for you.
It's been a pleasure then, Blibble. Nameless, you are definitely a creature of honor.
Thank you.
Until our paths cross again. Oh, I hope they don't.
Well, you never know what the future might hold. Goodbye, gentlemen.
For the audio listener, Berg scooched off frame in his chair ever so slyly. With a grin, a shit-eating grin, and his hands rubbed together in classic Gokked style.
okay, now I do have to come back, though, unfortunately.
Oh, like the best thing I've ever seen. It's so good. I'm upset at how good it was. Oh my gosh. Ooh. All right. And I think we're gonna end this episode a little early today. Yeah.
As he heads out, I guess Blue will just be like,
The rest of you guys want to go get a drink? Bertha, he had the last call when you were around, right?
Yeah. Last call is Luftum Institution. I could definitely go for an ale.
Yeah, I need one. Let's go get drunk. I'm sure you got all
Let's
sorts of
go
stories
get
for adventures
drunk.
in your time.
Oh, yeah, I do. She claps like one arm on Nameless's shoulder and another on yours and heads towards the last call. As the tavern doors open, enveloping you with warm golden light and the sound of raucous cheer inside, 3 flagons are swung out onto the glossy bar, each thick with a head of foam that rises up to welcome you into its meaty depths. That'll be where we call a close to this adventure. Somewhere,
Hey!
sadly, Gokked sits alone.
I like to think it's like, hey, shh, you know, and then through the window outside, Gokked's like,
I like it's like this, not like crying like Kermit, but like let's do some shout outs. What are you up to this week? Where can people find you? Burke, take it away.
Oh, you can find me at the at the Burke Black channel. Yeah, just doing pirate stuff on Twitch. I don't know, they're freaking playing games, and I don't know. We're going. I guess me and Gassy gonna do Dead Island coming up when it eventually comes out. So looks like it's gonna be goofy fun. So I hope we all have a lot of fun with it.
Fantastic. Max.
yeah, you can find me at Gassy Mexican. I'll probably be playing, like you said, Dead Island 2 coming up. I already played a little bit of it for just like early access to it and a little sponsored thing, but it's pretty fun from what I've seen. So it'll be good to do a co-op. It's always nice when these kind of come through where you know what you're getting, and then just I'm happy with it. I think a lot of people, these games, they might criticize them and be like, "Oh, I expected so much more." I'm just excited to get in there, have a little graphical update and cut people up, zombies, and mess around with the crafting and stuff. That'll be me, Burke, and some other friends. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. It was great. There's gonna be a lot to talk about. Obviously, I say that every time in the post show. Gassy doesn't feel angry towards Burke. Just so you know, I know everybody is aware.
Are you not
give you
friends
that in the main
anymore?
show? We'll talk more about
we're
it afterwards. I
done.
hope you enjoyed
So
it.
much drama.
Maybe you'll see Blibble again. Maybe you'll see Gokked or Nameless in the future. Who knows? But for a while, this is the end of the story.
Amazing. And Dan?
Hi, I'm Dan's Gaming. Tomorrow's 420, so I'll be playing our annual playthrough of Weed Shop 3. Should be fun. Very funny game, if you haven't seen it. And then Friday, I'll be checking out Dead Island 2 as well. Thanks for having me on the show. It's been a lot of fun playing D&D again, and this group was just amazing, and I loved every minute of it. So thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much for being on. This group was absolutely chaotic and dark and creepy, and I loved it. Yeah, thank you so much for playing with me. I had a great time. I had a great time with this adventure. We're gonna take, I think, at least 1 week off, maybe 2, as we prep for our next cruise. So don't worry, this isn't the end of Last Call for Adventure. It's just until we meet again. As always, I'm your Dungeon Master, That Bronze Girl. You can find me everywhere at That Bronze Girl. And we will see you in the Patreon post show. Thank you so much for watching us and supporting us. See ya. Bye.
Bye, y'all.